Hey everybody, I didn't know if this one was going to happen or not. I don't know where my guest is calling from, but I think there were some connection issues. We were going to meet a few minutes ago. We're going to have a short half an hour beautiful conversation because of time constraints on my end. But this is what happens. Sometimes, you show up and you can't get into the room, you can't do certain things. So we just make the best of whatever happens. The beautiful thing is that he's here, I'm here, and we have a time to talk. And if I can stop my soliloquy here and just let that start happening, I want to welcome Vishal Soni to 50 Conversations with 50 Strangers. Vishal, how are you today?
I'm doing good, Danny. How are you?
I am doing great. Now that you are here, I am fabulous. Vishal, because I
Yes.
don't know who you are, and because my people listening may or may not know who you are, would you spend a few minutes and tell us who you are and what's important to you?
Definitely. So my name is Vishal Soni, and right now, talking about me, who I am today, I'm an architect and I'm a fitness coach. So in the morning time, I work in an office as an architect, and the rest of the time, I'm working as a fitness coach. The term fitness coach is quite a small one to say, to give a full description about what I try to do, because what I try to do is not just make people fit, not just make their lifestyles fitter, but also make them much more happier, make them more positive, and make them learn that progress is never something which you should like give up on. So it's more related to life. It's more related to the psychology, and it's more related to just enjoying the process. So
Be-
that's about something which I'm doing currently.
Beautiful. What's important to you, Vishal?
Um, for me, if there's one thing which is important, that's happiness. That's basically just being happy, being able to smile, being able to live life. That's important for me.
And so, beautiful lead into my next question. What makes you happy?
Uh, Making people makes me happy to a very good extent. I would say that seems made up, but this is always something which has been there in my life since childhood. I've always loved to make people smile, and that in return has always made me happy. So it started off in the childhood itself when I started to just, have a sense of humor just because I loved people around me, like my friends around me laughing. And as I grew up, it became as a person who always loved to help the classmates, like, if you have any work, all right, give it to me, like stuff like that. And when I grew up even further, then like fitness had been there in my life for so long. So then it was about, that, okay, so your life is going like in a bad direction. You feel all screwed up. It's all right. Let's fix this. So it has always been about helping people and then watching them smile.
I love that, and what a beautiful thing to say. I have an interesting question for you. If you were in a room by yourself with nobody else around, would you be unhappy?
I would say depends upon how long. If if I'm there in the room for very long, I might feel isolated and like uh, I can be with myself. I can do something. Uh, there's always so much to work on yourself. You can spend days just trying to improve yourself. So, if we're talking about 1 day, 2 day, maybe a week, that's fine. But if they're going to make me sit in that room, I'm going to knock the door to open it up. Yeah.
So what's really interesting, and this is the place that I'm trying to get at. Where are you from? Where are you calling from?
I'm currently in Fujairah, which is a city in United Arab Emirates.
Gotcha. Um, so one of the things that we learn over here oftentimes is that our happiness is inside of us, not outside of us.
Right.
And I want to know just what you think about that.
It's definitely true. I completely support that. That's something which I've been feeling over the past few days as well. I was thinking about this topic by myself that many a times in your life there are situations where you feel so devastated and you feel like the world is going heavy on you. But if you had just learned to practice what you already knew in your childhood, life would have been so easy. Why do I say that? Because in your childhood, smiling was something which was a natural thing for you. Like talking about those like initial days in your childhood, you used to cry maybe for something if you wanted something or you got hurt or something. Your parents or someone would come in front of you with a small soft toy or something to distract you. They'll quickly distract you and you will immediately just start laughing. You will forget what was happening. So that's something which you used to do in the childhood. Everybody had that instinct, like it was a natural habit. But as we grow up, we become more realistic, we start to take more stress, and we feel that being more practical, we do not need to smile every time. Sometimes we need to get serious. So it's really important that happiness does come from within you. And if you just learn how to smile, like you can start by just making this a habit throughout the day. Just try having a natural smile on your face. It might seem forceful in the beginning, but then when you see the benefits throughout your day, you're going to get addicted to it. Like that smile is not going to go off your face. So like so many of the hard things in your life can become easy just if you learn how to be happy within yourself first and then like spread it outside.
So it's so interesting to hear you speak because even the example that you give, which is beautiful, you know, where as kids we're unhappy, and then our parents come with some sort of thing out and they show it to us and they play with us and it starts to make us happy. Even the example you show of happiness is within us is also an example of happiness being outside of us. That something needs to happen outside of us to make us happy. And so, what I'm really asking you is, do you actually believe that happiness is inside of you? And can you be happy just can you, not teaching other people, can you be happy
Right.
in the presence of your own self without somebody coming to give you a little fluffy toy to bring you out to make you smile? Can you be happy with nobody else
Right.
there to make happy? Can you feel that sense of
Right.
inner peace and happiness that lives inside of you, that no matter whether there's people around you or people suffering around you or people happy around you or nobody around you, that you can find that place of peace and happiness?
Okay, I do get the question now. So it is possible, and like if since you clearly mentioned it that it's not going to be about teaching someone, I'm going to be really personal with this one. Yes, it is
Please.
possible, and yes, happiness comes from within you. Um, you do not like have to
Hold it.
depend.
What I'm asking you to do now is not speak in you, which is teaching us what you think. I'm asking you to speak in terms of I. So
I
I want to talk to you. I want you to talk to me about who you are and what you experience. And I want you to get out of your teacher mode because when you say you do not have to, that you're teaching
right,
us. What I want to
correct.
know is I want to get you out of that and I want you to talk about you because I feel right now in this discussion, the you that is speaking not to the you
Okay,
that's actually I'm experiencing right now.
okay. So okay, I'll try to
Does that make
correct
sense to
that.
you what I'm saying?
So definitely it does. All right. So I'll talk about my own experiences and then I'll tell you what I do, how I do. So happiness was not something which I initially got every time. I was not at a very good state in my life, and it was all because of the things which were outside. Um, be it my education, be it my friend circle, be it my results in education or my physical self, not liking myself in the mirror. Everything outside was not making me happy. There was one special part in my life in the 10th grade when I found the book The Secret, which taught me about positivity. When I started practicing positivity in my own life, I learned that becoming happy does not have to depend upon the other sources which are there around me, which is why I just started loving the things which I had instead of focusing and regretting the things which I didn't have. So I just started appreciating what I had more. Um, and that basically just made me more happy by myself. and attracted the things which I wanted in my life.
So
So I
let me,
hope that answers it now.
I love it. Now let me go back to the question that I asked a few minutes ago. What makes you
Right.
happy?
It it does. Okay. So helping people out does make me happy.
No,
That's
no,
that's
no,
for
no, no,
sure.
no, 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 no. Because so here's what I'm trying to get at. Helping people out is the action you do to convince yourself that you can be happy. What is it about helping people out that makes you happy? What is it in you? Why do you have such a need to help people be happy?
I always had this soft side in me. I am very deeply emotional. I get touched by things quite easily. That has
Beautiful.
always been me since childhood, and even today. I'm deeply touched by listening to people's story and about how they're suffering. I had been in a very bad situation twice in my life, and to get out of that, initially for the first situation, I was very like inexperienced, and it was very difficult for me. The second time, when I was even in the most hard situation, when the life just seemed to have started from zero, at that time I was much more confident, and I came out of that with beautiful colors. So since I was able to do it, when I see around me people living their lives being more stressed out, and it really moves me when I see people try to destroy their own lives by, like, either just eliminating it, just killing themselves, or by just torturing themselves. I've met people in this year and last year as well who just try to, smoke something very dangerous, start having a drinking habit just to torture their body, because there's this strange kind of habit going on in the world that if you're going through pain, like as if I had a breakup, I'm going through some mental stress because of that breakup, I'm going to drink, or I'm going to, punch myself or punch on the wall or something like that. So you're already going through pain, and you're going to make yourself go through even more pain, either physical or mental or emotional. So I just don't get the sense behind that. And it's not like I want to become a hero, but I just want to see that there's a light on the other side. So just because of that, since I've gone through it myself, I just want to help other people go through the easier route rather than just trying to make their lives even more bad. um,
So part of the reason why I'm pushing you a little bit, and I hope you don't mind, because I really just it's not to change your point of view. It's just to understand
I
it.
love it.
Okay,
I just love the fact that you brought me back to the second question.
good.
Yeah,
Because we live in a world where there are vertical realities happening. We live in a world where government governs us, leaders lead
yeah,
us, people
yeah.
try to fix us,
Mm,
people try to help us, people try to change us, people try and be there to lift us up.
mm,
The beauty of the reality of the world that I live in is a mosaic reality where everything is a horizontal relationship rather than a vertical relationship. And
yeah,
the more the pieces of the mosaic are at peace, and the more the PIECEs are at PEACE, the more just in the sheer coming together that peace spreads. They don't have to fix each other or change each other. What in you is so, why is it so important for you to fix people, help people, change people, make people see something different than they're seeing? Why can't, what would be wrong with just loving and accepting them the way they are?
actually, your sentence is partly something which I feel like through myself. Let me explain that. The fact that you said, why cannot people just love what they are? So that's something which I try to teach people as well.
I don't
Instead
want to
of,
know what you try and teach people. I want to know
all right,
what,
all right,
I want to know why you can't do it yourself.
do myself.
Why can't you just love the world the way it is rather than teaching people how to do the world the way it is? By your very nature of teaching them, you're instructing them in the opposite of
Right.
what you're actually
Mm,
telling them to do.
mm, yeah.
Because if you really just love, this room is an amazing room
Right.
because it holds the space for people to come in and just drop all the stuff
Right.
and just be loved and accepted for who they are.
right.
So I'm asking you, what gets in your way of loving and accepting yourself for who you are? Not somebody who has to fix people, to change people, to help people to be loved, but to
Right.
just love for the sheer joy of loving another human being the way they are. What would happen to you if you were able to do that?
Definitely, that's something which I appreciate as well. I love the fact if someone can love themselves, but that is something which is
You're
lacking, I feel.
you're talking always about something, someone out there. Everything you're saying is a teaching. I'm asking you, how do I get inside of you? Not that I don't want to talk to the teacher.
All right,
I want to talk to the human being that's in this room.
right.
Do you understand what I'm asking you?
So you're asking me that why can't I just accept the reality rather than
Why can't you accept yourself is what I'm really asking.
I do accept myself. When did that seem to happen that I said I do not?
I don't understand that. Can you clarify what you just said?
See, if you're trying to ask if I love myself for who I am, I do. And if you really want to see me something different from the teaching side, it's a person who always just wants to. I'm very realistic, but I always like to develop on myself. I like to learn new skills, just trying to improve myself. That has always been there in me. But the most important part has been like how stable you are mentally and emotionally. Like, I'm sorry I'm mentioning the word you, but it definitely means to me. Like, for me, the most important thing in life is that I'm happy by what I have rather than by the expectations or the goals which I have for the future. So, considering that being said, I really love where I am today, but I'm just trying to, uh, progress further in life with a smile. Does that answer it somewhere?
Sort of, but I find that when people say "but," it
Right,
negates everything that came before what they said. So you
right.
said, "I'm really very happy with where I am today, but I really
Okay.
want to progress further."
All
Right?
right,
And so
right.
if how like so what I want to ask you, and I appreciate you letting me do this with you, because I'm not trying to change you, I'm trying to just
No,
understand it.
definitely. I
Okay?
understand that. Yeah,
How are you really happy with where you are, but you want to move forward and you want to progress more? Like, I understand that we all want to become better versions of ourselves, but what's wrong with the version of yourself that is? Why isn't that just a natural progression, that the more you live in your happiness and joy will take you to a place where you have to go? Because let me try and frame it in a different way.
yeah,
I was on a podcast and someone asked me, why is it so important for you to hold the space for other people to be heard? Were you not listened to as a child? And I thought about it and I said, you know something? I had a beautiful family. My family was like the quintessential family that you ever want to have. The problem is my mom and dad passed away too soon. My dad passed away when I was 13, my mom when I was 15. And so when I walked into the world, I didn't feel people could actually hear my experience because all my friends had both their parents. The world didn't know what it's like to be orphaned at such an early age. So it was hard for me to be able to be heard in that. And so, yes, the truth of the matter is, the reason why I want people to hold a space for people to be heard is because I didn't feel heard as a kid. I'm asking you in a similar way. Why do you feel this need to help people so much, to make them see something, to make them feel happy? When what were you just unhappy as growing up? What's behind your need to make people feel happy? Not only your need, but when I asked you what makes you happy, your answer was making other people happy. So if there's no one else in the world, you couldn't be happy from your answer, which I don't believe.
right. So you,
I
um,
love, by the way, what's happening now, because it's the first time in our conversation that you're off script and you're actually thinking. Do you feel that?
right. Yes, I do. That's very rare. it's very rare, and I love the fact that you're making me think deep enough for a question like that.
So why is it
Um,
rare for you to go off script? Do you think people enjoy script?
I have no idea. It's probably because maybe I've been asked the same questions over and over again, and I love the fact that you're making, like, you're forcefully making me think apart from that. I love that fact because usually when I come on a podcast call or something like that, it's just being asked about repeated questions about my life story, and it has just so much being like get on my speech that, as you said, helping others out, teaching someone, and that has just got on me. But definitely that's something which I want to get off as well, myself personally. And for that reason, yeah, that's definitely, I'm loving to have this conversation right now. um, if I was there alone in this world, uh, if I would be happy, probably by doing something, definitely. If you snatch, hello, hello,
Yeah, I'm here.
yeah. So in this point of time, if you snatch away everything from my life, like if you snatch everybody out of this world and I'm there in this world alone, I guess I might do something just to keep myself involved and be happy in that situation. I think I can adapt to that.
So I guess the real question that I'm asking is, if you were to treat yourself the way you treat other people, how would you treat yourself?
The same way how I treat myself right now.
Okay. So then you could be happy without anybody else in the room.
Definitely.
So that's a different answer than the one we
You
had a little
brought me to
earlier.
this one.
But did I
You
bring you
brought me to
to it,
this
or
one.
is this, which one is real?
It's real. It's real because before teaching someone else that you can be happy in a life, it's definitely something which I did on myself first.
Hmm.
So definitely the answer should be that I'm happy being happy rather than making others happy. I guess that clears it.
But all that is based on teaching somebody else something. I,
It
I
was
mean,
first based upon learning myself.
okay. Let's move on because I think it gives the listener what I'd like to ask the listener to do at this point in time is, can you feel the subtlety of what I'm trying to get at? Can you feel the subtlety of where Vishal sits and where he has this beautiful desire to want to bring light and smiles and happiness into a world. And so often I see so many people doing that, but excluding their own place because they don't even know what it would be like to sit in a room by themselves and feel themselves and experience happiness on themselves, because everything is dependent on fixing somebody, helping somebody, changing somebody, help being there for somebody, which is beautiful. Like our world would be such a better world if there were more people doing that. But underneath that is unhappy people trying to make other people happy so that they can be happy. Do you understand what I'm saying?
You do, and you have actually cleared it out for me. I would really say that because while you were saying that, I'd love to share one experience with you because now
Please.
you definitely brought me to this point where I can nicely say something about what I'm currently going through. So yes, behind all the part that I said in my childhood that I always love to make people smile, joke around and stuff during school life. It was always the fact that I was upset inside. I was depressed. I used to cry a lot. But when I used to go to the school, it was always about like I wanted to make friends. So yeah. So sorry.
No, please do not. This is the first time you've been real with me in this whole room. And I want listeners to see what happens when you just stay with somebody long enough to love them enough that you really care about their happiness. And you sit there long enough with them to let them go through this place, because now we're at the place. Now we're at the real place.
Yeah. So During my childhood, I always like to make people smile so that I could smile, like, just have a reason to laugh with them. But of course, when I used to be alone, it used to be a dark time. And after that, also the life, like, whenever the reason is there, I read this story about Jim Carrey as well, I guess. And like all the comedians which are there, like they always say that they have behind all the fun and everything, they have a dark side. Like they're not happy. Basically, that's why they try to make others happy.
Yeah.
So I felt like I was doing right, but I'm there in my stage right now where I felt like rather than helping someone out, what's more important for me is to spend my time, be with myself, and try to be happy in that situation. So I'm glad
Bam.
that you brought me to this place. So this is one habit which I've been doing from the past 1 month only. Like it's not much. Before that, what I used to do was like just sit in a room, play some good music, and just try to feel myself. And when I started that habit, I even removed the music gradually. Like I felt like I don't need music. I just used to sit, focus on my breathing, focus on who I am, how I looked, love myself, like just try some positive affirmations. That's one habit which I did. Being more realistic today, what I do from the past 1 month, which I was about to tell, I go from my house 3 kilometers walking to the beach, and on the beach I like walk for some more time, and when it gets dark, that's when I go to the water. I go to the water and I just sit there, and like I go in the dark, especially because nobody else is there at that time. Like I want my space.
Hmm.
So I go there. It's just the water, the sound, the winds, and me. So at that particular time, I'm not dependent upon anyone. I'm just with me, and I'm trying to love myself. Like I'm trying to feel myself. I'm trying to appreciate who I am, and yeah, basically being in the moment, trying to be happy. Yeah.
Vishal, I want to just thank you, and I want to give you all of the admiration of my heart. Because when we came on, we had a limited time to be together, and you said this is going to go
Yeah.
fast, and I don't know what's going to happen. But in 26 minutes, and I hope you'll watch this back. In 26 minutes, you completely changed the way you presented yourself.
So
You went
that's
from
true.
a painted wall that had no connection to me because it was just script, to bringing down the wall and showing me yourself, which is such a beautiful human being. And I want to just encourage you to stay in this place and feel like the benefit for me. I've had the good fortune for the last 45 years to meditate every single day for 45 years. Some of those days have been long hours of meditation. Some of them have been short minutes of meditation, but I haven't missed a day. And in that process of being able to go inside ourselves, go inside myself, to feel that presence that's in me, I don't have to change the world anymore because I know that we're all connected. And if I make this change in me, the world around me will change. And like pieces of a mosaic, if there's peace in this piece, if this PIECE has PEACE, then the
Mm.
pieces connected to me will start to feel that peace. Not because I'm teaching them or changing them, but just because they're connected to me. They'll feel that peace and they'll start to experience that peace as well. And that peace will spread piece by piece by piece by piece through the whole mosaic. It's not a matter of making people happy or helping them or putting a little fleshy toy in front of them so they'll be. You're still putting fleshy toys in front of people because it worked for you as a kid.
Mm.
And the example you gave is that. So you are so much deeper and so much more beautiful than the fleshy toy you hold. With all that being said, because we're short on time, we're not going to follow the normal conversation we have because we're almost over. But I do want to ask you now, from this place, not from the place that you entered the room, Is there something you want to say to people, to the world at large, who um, some of which are going through a lot of pain and suffering right now, without teaching them, but from this place where you are right now? Can you say something to them that might be meaningful?
Um, Without teaching them, I would just say that wherever they are in life, I guess it's going to be to just enjoy the process, let things happen naturally, and as you said, like don't try to alter or change anything. Like whatever is happening for a reason. If it's bad, you might probably grow up stronger from it. If it's happy, you might just be in the moment and enjoy it. So whatever is happening is happening for a reason, and if it's not some reason, you're gonna like have some reason out of it later.
Mm,
So I'm just gonna say enjoy life
beautiful.
because yeah.
Vishal, if someone wants to get in touch with you, and if someone has watched this transformation and seen the courage that you've had to open yourself up to an imperfect stranger like myself in the course of this conversation, and they want to get in touch with you to hear this guy speak and to meet this guy,
Yes.
how would they go about doing that?
You can definitely like uh, I can give you my Instagram handle, which is v.s_ironfit, IRONFIT. So that's my IG handle. I'm pretty much active on Instagram. You can contact me on Facebook as well. Like just put a slash and write AR dot Vishal Soni. So that's my name. And yeah, that's the two places where I can be touched and contacted.
Will you be sure right after this call to send me those links, and to
Oh,
also
definitely.
and
Sure.
also send me a headshot of you so that I can make the cover for this as well?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Um, I want to thank you for taking the time to be here with us. I want to thank you for not only taking the time, but being so beautifully open and willing to allow the energy of this room to transfer amongst us. I want to really reinforce and thank you for dropping the wall of who you think you have to be so that I could actually get to know who you are. And
Thank
I want to just thank you for your time. And for those people who listen to the show, I want you to really listen to this one. This one's short, powerful, and packed. And I want you to ask yourself, in your desire to help the world, what are you covering up? What's not there? Why do you have such a strong desire to change something that's already pretty good on its own? What would happen if you just saw the beauty in everything that is and just allowed that beauty to grow and grow and grow and grow? How would that change us? How would that affect us? Um, if you like this episode, please share it with people. The only way things grow is when people share what they like with each other. So if you like this episode, I really invite you to share it. If you don't like it or don't want to share it, that's okay too. You do what you need to do. Um, but look what happened in a room where I had no idea where Vishal was. Look how quickly a transformation occurs in a conversation where you just have the desire to really know another person, to get behind the veneer that they put up, and to just see them. And then when you see them, I wonder if you saw the same person that I saw. What a beautiful, beautiful man sits behind the veneer of what he puts out to the world. Have those conversations. Invite people you don't know. Invite strangers to come into a room with you and sit together, and just love them and care about them enough to just ask them how they're doing, and ask for more clarity when they say stuff you don't understand. We live in a world of strangers right now. But what I'm seeing in this room is there are no strangers. They're only friends, one conversation away. Vishal, before we go, is there one last thing you want to say?
I would like to thank you definitely for giving me a chance. And it's very rare that someone tries to get that deep within a person. And I'm glad that you made me talk as who I am rather than what I try to portray to someone. So definitely thank you for your time, for basically just making me open the envelope and show the real me rather than
Yeah,
just the envelope. And thank you for showing and reminding me about what really matters. And that's definitely, I hope this conversation becomes a lesson for most people as well, so that they can try to be themselves and not try to change something just to prove themselves. So yeah, thank you.
you're so welcome. Thank you for your courage in allowing that to happen. For those of you who are here with us, thank you for being with us again. Don't be strangers. Open up to somebody. Find somebody you don't know and sit down and have a conversation. That's my challenge to each one of you. Find someone you don't know either online or in person. Go up to them and just ask them how they're doing and let the conversation happen. In a world where strangers become friends, the world literally transforms. There's stranger things that have happened than that. And it can happen one by one conversation at a time. So until next time, until the next stranger enters this room, don't be strangers, okay? Be friends. Big love. Thank you so much.